TikTok is known for many things with its dances, its doom scrolling, and its brain rot. But today we're going to be talking about TikTok being the graveyard for words, for trendy words. Let's just go ahead and get straight into the video. So the first word we're going to get into is the word LARP. Now, LARP is big on the anime side of TikTok. It's been really big and it's been overused.
Or not everyone is LARPing. Some people do in fact consume the media that they're talking about. And I fucking hate it whenever any word gets popular on TikTok, because now it just becomes a little buzzword that you spam every 5 seconds. In any situation where it's even remotely maybe applicable, you're gonna use the word. Oh my god, that shit pisses me off. And I'll give you an example, right? I reposted a couple things about Andre because I watched it and I liked it, right? I reposted the videos. Why am I getting 10 different DMs calling me a LARP? Saying, holy LARP, stop pretending. We know you didn't watch the show. Dude, it has 1 episode. How the fuck do you LARP on Giselig? Technically, it's 6 separate short episodes that are in chronological order, but I'm just gonna say 1 full episode. You can consume the entirety of it in like 20 to 25 minutes. Why the fuck would anyone LARP this show? I struggle to even call it a show. It has 1 episode. And it has like some illustrations and extra comics that you can read if you...
Now we're going to go ahead and get into the actual definition of what LARP is. And I'm going to go ahead and read that. I'm going to go ahead and bring it up, pull it up for you and read it. You know, I'm not the best reader and when it comes to this, but one always picks for popcorn reading, but I think I can get this one out. LARP, or also known as live action roleplay. I'm gonna go to the Bigpedia for this one. LARP is a form of role-playing games where the participants physically portray their characters. So it's basically like some sort of like cosplay, basically. The players pursue goals within a fictional setting, represented by real-world environments. And I remember LARPing. I remember it was talked about in it was an American Dad show, if I'm not mistaken. There was an episode of LARPing. Yeah, there was the episode of LARPing in the American Dad show, and I never really brought the correlation together till like now. But big dog, let me tell y'all something. This word is getting so gentrified. If you make one minuscule mistake and you misspeak or say something that wasn't completely in the manga, but you got everything else right, you're a LARP. You're a LARPer. In every single comment sections, even if they said the right thing, it's LARP, 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 LARP. Why is it that on TikTok every word is just overused? I got the answer just for you, man. Everyone, it seems cool. It's a cool word. It's a new word. Everyone wants to expand their vocabularies without expanding their vocabulary. It's just like he said, a buzzword. It's something just that's trendy. Everyone loves to follow the trends, and they don't want to they don't want to go out and read books, read dictionaries. They want to just say, hey, that can open up my definition by my vocabulary by 1 singular word. So they'll just go out and say LARP this, LARP that. And 9 times out of 10, they don't even know what LARPing is or what a LARPing originated from, which is basically, it's the form of like let's say me and my homeboys, we're going to just act out like us being in like the Star Wars or something like that, or acting out being an anime. So it's not necessarily cosplay, but it is, you do cosplay and then you also act out scenes that are imaginary. That's what LARPing is. So like as kids, you probably did LARP a lot, to be honest, when you were a kid. But yes, LARPing is one of the couple words that have been gentrified on TikTok, and it's actually starting to piss me off because everyone is getting called LARP. It's actually so annoying. It's so stupid. And I hope this word just like kind of just blows over like every other word. It becomes a trend, and then after that it gets blown over and it's never used again. Going on to the next word, unk. Unk is a word that was used in the Black community as someone that is like 50 to 55 and they're older, and you call them unk. You know what I'm saying? It didn't have to be your uncle or anything like that, but you just call someone older that's unk. And now anyone that's pushing 18 is called unk. Like, I've been called unk, bro, and I'm 19. And I will say this, I'm part of the problem. I have called people who are like 23 unk. I just say it as a joke, and I know that a lot of people mean it in a joking manner. It is still annoying to see that everyone just gets called unk. It is annoying to be called unk at the ripe old age of 19. Like, unk was originally meant for older, like just older Black men in general. Like, you know, the more older and like the more wise Black men. Not everyone was deemed an unk. Unk was like a title you had to earn. In some cases, you had to earn it, you know, with your age and your wisdom. Not everyone got deemed an unk. Some people just got deemed a crazy old nigga, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, unk were the wise. In my perspective, they were the wise older, you know, the old wise older black men who could give us advice, something like that. Maybe crack jokes saying, back in my day, you know what I'm saying? Back in my day, I could throw a football about like 50 yards. Like Patrick Mahomes ain't got nothing on me. Something like that. You know what I'm saying? Just, always cracking easy, just giving you life advice and stuff like that. And we're going to be reading the definition. Like I said, not the best popcorn reader, might stutter every now and then, but from what I've just searched up with Unk, it says Unk originates from African American vernacular English, or also known as AAV. So if you heard AAV, that's what that means. It's basically like, black cultures, slangs and terminologies and stuff like that. That's what AAV is. And it's a shortened form of uncle. So it is a shortened form of uncle. Pretty obvious. And it is traditionally referred to older male relatives, like I said. In modern, no, we're not talking about modern, but yeah, it is someone who gives off uncle vibes, behaviors or attitudes that seem older, eccentric, or out of touch with current trends. Exactly. So they can be older, eccentric, like I said, and also that add upon like they are old, they could be out of touch with current trends. And this can include like outdated language and dressing in old-fashioned clothing and acting overly serious in social situations. And this video was from 2024, bro, and it's 2026 now.
Another term, bro. The term unk is over. Somehow, TikTok brought down the age of unk status from 40 to 18 in 5 seconds. Why are you calling the class of 23 and the class of 22 unks? We just graduated. Like, can y'all stop calling me unk under every one of my videos? I am 19 years old. I am a teenager. I am in Gen Z, and y'all are acting like I'm a senior citizen with a nurse in the passenger seat that's ready to change my diaper. I kid you not, just a year ago, I would be going out to dinner with my family, and the waiter would ask us if we needed an extra kids menu. And then as soon as I hop on this app, y'all are treating me like I'm a Facebook fossil. And it's not just me either. You guys call anyone an unk. I feel like everyone born in like 05 and before need to band together and fight back. Because I'm not about to let a bunch of sons, nephew, and nieces bully me off of this app by calling me old. We are not that old.
So yes, that the terminology unk has been also gentrified in the TikTok space. And the reason why is because there's a bunch of corny individuals who just think that saying unk this, unk that, unk everything, call everyone unk, just as a rage baiting term, or just say that, oh, you're quote unquote old, even though, you're at apparently the ripe age of 19 years old, as dude just said, and as I said too. And it's starting to die down, but like, bro, this was back in 2024, and everyone's still saying unk this, unk that, and there might be some comments that say unk if this video even gets views. But yeah, that's the terminology unk, and that's the gentrification of unk. On to the next word. But this last word is crash out. Crash out is a term that's been, oh my gosh, this is the worst one I've so far. Crashing out, and I'm gonna read the dictionary. I'm gonna read the definition in a second. Crashing out was the terminology. It was meant to say you got nothing to lose for. You got nothing else to lose. That's like the extreme version of crash out too. Like you can crash out and like, you're throwing chairs, you're throwing hands with anyone and everyone. Like the crashing out, getting physical and getting angry. That's crashing out. Now some people get mildly mad and now it's called a crash out. And I've had coworkers say that they're gonna crash out. And like the main thing to do is they just like get mad. That's not crashing out. That's just getting mad. Like, you getting mad is not a crash out, bro. Like me personally, I don't think I've ever crashed out in my life. I'm not a crash out, bro. Like, we're gonna go ahead and go into the definition. I'll go ahead and read the definition to y'all. Now we're gonna go ahead and read the definition. Crash out refers to suddenly becoming uncontrollably angry, distressed, or emotionally overwhelmed. It can describe someone freaking out, overreacting, or acting reckless. Acting reckless, key word. In response to a situation, sometimes with serious consequences. Serious consequences insinuate, you might get locked up for crashing out. The term can be used as a verb. Okay, and then it gives an example. He crashed out after hearing the news. That's not really, I mean, sure. In online culture, particularly TikTok, it often describes dramatic emotional outbursts over minor or exaggerated triggers, such as relationship games or social conflicts. And guess what? Origin. The phrase originated in AAV and was popularized in Baton Rouge by rapper NBA YoungBoy around 2017. So this has been around since 2017, but it started to rear its head in TikTok around 2024, I want to say, maybe 2023, and it's kind of just been a term that's been used now, as per my knowledge. It gained wider attraction through social media, especially TikTok, where Gen Z users adapted to describe emotional breakdowns or reckless behaviors. But let's go ahead and watch this. Let's go ahead and watch the TikTok video I have chosen for this.
Crashing out is no longer mean what it mean no more. Crashing out used to mean that you did something that put you in a way worse situation for something that you could have just avoided because you too emotional and you didn't have to do that. There was no reason to do that. For example, road rage. Let's say a nigga get out of his car. Let's say somebody cut him off. But he didn't get hit, nobody car got hit, none of that. Let's say somebody got cut off, but you at a red light. It wasn't even that close because nigga had touched your bumper, nothing like that, person just cut in front of you. Crashing out in my back in my day meant nigga got out the car, walked up to the car with a gun, punched a nigga window and shot him in his face for cutting him off. That's a crash out. Another crash out situation. You got a nigga that's trying to take a hoe and be with her for life. He knows that she a hoe and she tells him she don't want to be with him. She's fucking the other dudes. And then he catches a dude with her like she telling him like yeah with another nigga. He killing a nigga over a hoe that's not really his girlfriend. That's a crash out. You like nigga what the fuck are you crashing out over a hoe that's not even yours? That's crashing out. Nowadays a nigga will go into McDonald's and be like, hey my man I asked for no pickles on my burger. Can I get another burger? Yo he crashing out at McDonald's right now. No I'm not. I just didn't like no pickles on my burger. I just get another double McCheeseburger. No I ain't crashing out. I ain't about to kill nobody here. I just want a double McCheeseburger with no pickles. My nigga. Nowadays y'all say anything is crashing out. That's not crashing out. What are we talking about?
Now that's coming from my brother Tbvnks. He's a Twitch streamer. Everyone knows who Tbvnks is, you know, AA12 with the Switch and all that. That's how he got big and stuff like that with a 2x voice. But he explained it perfectly. Like, bro, you go to McDonald's and you say, oh yeah, that's not crashing out, bro. Crashing out is a situation to where you are and like you make it to where like your situation is gonna go downhill. Like you're gonna be locked up for a while type crash out. That is what crashing out meant back before it got gentrified on TikTok. Every time it's TikTok, it's always TikTok. And there's even people that I watch. There's a sports channel I watch. I'm big into sports. But this dude said, oh, well, if this team doesn't get this, and I'm gonna crash out. Big dog. The most you're gonna do is maybe hold up, pull up. It's like that one clip from Sheldon, bro. It's like when you like y'all know what I'm talking about. The clip from I'm gonna put it up, but it's like the clip from Sheldon. It's like where he just like softly hits the pillow, bro, or his bed. That's kind of how I feel when that's like what I imagine when I see people say like they're crashing out. But yeah, that's gonna be the end of this video. If we get like even 10 likes, I'll do a part 2 to this. Obviously I'm gonna make other content about different stuff that I want to talk about, different talking points I want to talk about, not just, you know, slangs on TikTok. I want to talk about other stuff. I don't have any examples, but yeah, go ahead and like and subscribe. If you want, go ahead and follow the Twitch, join the Discord, because I have an anime channel. If you want to recommend me just watching any anime videos or something, like any anime or anything like that, or if you want a chance to, you know, talk to me about anything, I'll talk. We can talk, we can conversate, we can do all that, this, that, and the third. But I really do appreciate you for coming and you know, watch to the end of the video. Like, yeah, like I said, just, you know, join the Discord, follow my Twitch. I plan to start streaming again. So yeah, that's about it. I'll see y'all later. I appreciate you for watching the video.